Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here, and the real training is about to begin. Do we get to unburden you from your head yet?
If you would like to follow me.
I'm still not a fan of this Grandmaster Pang. Okay, okay, well, let's see what Pang wants.
Your grandfather has mastered the last secret of Angri-La. He now has the power to send enemies straight to the beyond. It is a technique first devised in the Age of Heroes.
It's not what that technique actually does.
Brother in arms of the Luminary of Legend. For you, I have a technique no less impressive.
Oh, good.
An attack of such incredible power that it can tear through all 4 dimensions.
4 dimensions?
It was devised by Erdwin himself during his training with Yi, our first Grand Master.
So we have this place. Well, okay, we have this place, the Void. We have the place with where we were inside the mural. In our regular world.
We'll be
I don't
know.
If you can master it. None since Erdwin has been able to do so. The training you must undergo to acquire this power will be more intense, more relentless, more excruciating than any you have faced before. Well, do you think you have what it takes to endure this most trying of trials?
Well, if it gives me the opportunity to unburden you from your head, then yes.
Now, let us begin. The first step is to focus your mental energies and call forth a blade of pure light. Hold out your hand and try.
Oh, hey.
As good as can be expected for a first attempt. The heat of battle should help to speed you up a little.
Battle? You mean you're going to fight him? Oh, no, the poor lad's not ready.
Me? Why would I rumple my nice clean robe when I have you to do my dirty work for me?
Oh yeah, of course.
What? You're going to make me fight my own grandson?
Oh my gosh, it's just training.
Lord Robert. You have mastered all our secrets now. There is no one better suited to the task. And besides, I've always wanted to see 2 princes of Dundrasil battling it out. Let me know when you are ready to begin.
And again, there's this little weird break here where we have to go up and talk. Like, okay, we've been here. We're not doing anything else. We got nothing else going on. Let's get this
Before we continue, allow me to give your grandfather an unfair advantage. All in the name of speeding up your training, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. Does unburdening you from your head give you an unfair advantage? We'll call this Super Saiyan White.
Aye. I've not felt this alive in decades. Let me have a little blighter.
That's the spirit. Don't hold back. Show him the true power of our last and greatest secret.
Just you watch me.
Luminary, prepare yourself. Beat back the onslaught and unleash the technique if you can. The more you use it, the stronger it will become. You must practice until it is perfect.
Here I come, laddie. It's time to show you what this old man can do.
Alright, here we go. So, this battle is kind of weird. We're fighting in this, I don't know, some sort of spirit realm to begin with. Oh, hey, there's a... Dang, that hurt. Okay, well, first up, we need to heal. Now, that attack is called Pearly Gates, but I'm calling it the Spirit Bomb. Okay, and we can use other techniques and attacks and that, but the game wants you to use this Quadra Slash. That's our new technique. That wasn't too impressive. Uh-oh. He used the After Image technique, although this is, like, more than After Image. This is, you know... After images that can attack. So, we got double the damage we previously did, so like Pang was saying, the more you use this, the stronger it's going to get. There we go, now it's up to 75. Oh, dang. You'll notice every time that he says he's, you know, getting ready for an attack, his next move is going to be the Spirit Bomb. These attacks I couldn't care less about. Okay, maybe that one. And this, oh no, that's just 150. Okay, 300, that's going to be as strong as it comes. Oh, this isn't good. How am I going to withstand this attack? That's not helping either. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Defend command for like one of the first times ever. Yeah, defending is kind of what you want to be doing on those turns. Now that's a good use of the Defend command, because sometimes it's like you don't really know if what they're going to use, but when they give you a turn and say, hey, they're preparing for an attack, that's kind of your signal to, hey, use the Defend command. I like that as a use for Defend. There's a few instances across RPGs where the Defend command becomes useful in that sort of regard. I was happy to see it here. I'd be happy if I see it again. I think it's time to just go for... No, it's not time to go for rest. Yeah, 300, it's not getting any stronger, so that's the strongest it's going to go. Ouch. Uh-oh. This isn't good. Alright, and it's time to just go for Rab. Ah, there we go. I guess that was considered a boss battle. Hey, we leveled up off of that.
Oh, yes! Wonderful! I couldn't have beaten him more soundly myself. I must say, I doubted you had it in you. But you have proved me wrong. And for once, that is no bad thing.
Again, with her half a compliment.
The power of the technique comes from your heart.
Now, Quadra Slash is not going to be a free technique like it was there. In fact, it's going to cost 24 MP.
Now, I think it's time we build
which is
whole degenerate
kind of a
flagstones,
lot.
Don't you?
You beat me. Even with the
But it's
last
pretty
secret of
strong.
angry lad on
It's
my
really
side.
only good against...
Oh, I
it'll
can't
damage
believe how
all
much you've
enemies,
grown, laddie.
and it's not going to do that, you know, 300 damage.
You weren't too much of an embarrassment, no.
It'll hit at
Perhaps
all
I
enemies for
finally
around
have a disciple
160 to
worthy of the
180
name.
right now. Same with Rab's Spirit Bomb technique, which will also cost 24 MP. Uh-oh. Now this part, I love this part.
Where you have been hiding.
Mordecai.
Wait, I know that voice.
Mordigan.
Sniveling worms. You thought to escape my clutches by cowering here in this ruined world. You have only delayed the inevitable.
No!
Oh, look, she can actually do something.
Curse you! I had thought your powers could not reach us here. It seems I underestimated you.
Now, I do like this segment because I've been comparing a lot of what's been going on to the events of Final Fantasy VI.
Thing I wanted to teach you.
And how Kefka just kind of sat back and never did anything, never interacted with anyone. We never saw him, like, having conversations with his evil monsters. We didn't even get that. He just kind of sat back and let us accumulate power and accumulate our characters. And,
What?
that was
So
that.
the last secret of Angri-La wasn't the last one? And Quadra Slash
Yeah, she
wasn't
lied.
either?
Yeah, she lied.
Of course
Are you
not,
surprised?
foolish man. There is another. A supreme skill devised by
But here we have
Grandmaster
Morrigan directly
IE.
interacting with
One
us.
that Erdwin and Morkan
And I love
performed
this concept.
together. Well, don't just stand there. Combine your powers. Revive the technique that was lost to us so long ago, so that I can die happy.
You dare to resist me?
Ah, here we go.
You
This
must
isn't
do
really
exactly
Morrigan,
as I
this is
say.
just like a bunch of giant tentacles. Well, they're saying it's
Exactly when I say
Morrigan,
it.
so...
We have only one chance. Robert, do not think. Act. Use the technique I taught to you. Quickly!
Alright, so let's combine the Spirit Bomb and Quadra Slash. This actually looks really
Now,
cool.
Luminary! Unleash Quadra Slash!
Oh my. And it becomes this giant golden spinny
Yes.
spiral sword
The last and
of
greatest
doom.
of all the secrets of Angri-La. The technique to end all techniques. Solar flare!
That's not the right spelling of flare. That sort of flare means, like, you know, you dress with a lot of flair and pizzazz. Whereas a solar flare should be F-L-A-R-E. That was a cool technique. We get to use it. It's actually a pep-up power that can only be used when both Rab and Jace are pepped up. And that doesn't cost MP because it's pep-up power. So that's even better.
He is back with us.
Hi, we're back.
Ah, but he is greatly weakened. We must get him to the temple right away.
Yet again, our luminary is blacking out and resting. What's our count up to for this now? Like 7, 8? I don't know. Yeah, this still isn't going to be the last time that this sort of thing happens. But what about Rab? His earthly body was kind of... became thin and scrawny and... not good looking.
Ah. You are finally awake. Good. I feared you had suffered some lasting injury. Lord Robert awoke a short while ago. He's outside speaking with the High Lama. We should join them.
Oh, okay. Let me guess, he's going to be back to normal. So yeah, I love the interaction there with Morgan, and you know, it might be quite some time before he interacts with us again on our quest. And I'm okay with that because we can just use the explanation, well, he was hurt from the solar flare, he was recovering from that, yada yada yada. That's cool. That's perfectly fine. I'm down with that. As long as we get, you know, some sort of interaction there instead of just having someone, you know, sitting in their castle being like, I am the supreme ruler of all this place, and then we can just rise up and squash them, and he just, like, isn't paying attention the whole time, like Kefka was.
What are you staring at me like that for? Is there something on my face?
So yeah, really love that whole
It is
segment.
your physique, Lord Robert.
Yeah, see,
You were a
he's
good
back to
deal
normal.
Slighter, only a short time ago.
Hendrix trying to be all, like, prim and proper.
Nothing a good breakfast couldn't cure. Aye, the Grand Master put me through worse on more than one occasion.
A good
Lord
breakfast
Robert has
fix
told
it.
me what came to pass in the void. That you met
Just go with it.
Grandmaster Pang, and that she trained you in the ancient arts. I
Good, so
hear
you've
that
been
you were even
completely
able to
filled in
master
there,
the
little
ultimate
Krillin.
abilities of your ancestor Erdwin. You have my congratulations.
And I hear that I owe you a debt of thanks, Sir Henrik, for looking after the boy here while I was away.
Please think nothing of it, my lord. It is the least I could do to make amends for all the wrongs I have done. Indeed, I feel I must apologize.
Ah, don't torture yourself over it, son. We've all been pawns in Mordigan's game. You've nothing to apologize for.
Well, he kind of does, but apology accepted.
What do you intend to do now? We had hoped to find guidance here in Angri-La, but alas, we find ourselves at an impasse.
Well, funnily enough, I was just thinking about something Grandmaster Pang told me. She said old Erdwin used a very special form of transport when he went after the Dark One. Some sort of sacred flying contraption.
Whatever could that mean?
I didn't get the chance
An
to ask
airship.
any more about it. But it sounds like just what we need to get up to that castle and knock Mordigan off his perch.
Oh, we don't just collect the Sif
As for our
Sorbs and
old
use the
friends,
teleporter
none of
over
them
by
were
the
exactly
first
the giving
forest?
up type, eh? If I'm still alive and kicking, you can bet the rest of them are out there somewhere.
Yeah, we gotta find them. Well,
What
you
say
haven't
we
been
head
doing
over
that
to
the whole
Arborea
time?
and keep an eye out for our pals on the way. If this flying doodad's supposed to be sacred, the folks over there will know something about it for sure. There's no
Well,
time
that's
to
a
lose.
vague enough
The
hint
longer
to
we
go
wait,
on
the
and
stronger
have it
Mordigan
pan out
gets. So,
exactly
let's
as
get
we need
going.
it to. Alright, so Rab has now rejoined. New panels have been unlocked in his character builder. What? We're gonna have to check this out. Now, I consider Rab more of like the Sage class because he has a mix of healing and offensive magic.
Honored Luminary,
And you guys know me, I
we
love
disciples
Sage
of
classes.
Angri-La will do all that we can to aid you in your preparations to take on the Lord of Shadows.
Because he can heal
We
when he
even
needs to be
devised a
healing,
special
or he can
training
be
regime for
attacking
you.
when he needs to be
Visit us
attacking.
again soon. We will stand ready to help you hone your powers.
Aye.
Alright, so let's take a look at these new... We got an accolade. Of course, he also has some new skill points. Oh my. So it's unlocked more in this Enlightenment. There's a whole bunch of new, question boxes. There's these things, MP+. Those could be useful. What were we actually trying to get? Magical mending? Oh, we do need that moderate MP after battle. And whatever in that center is, I don't know what's going to be in that center. But then another thing that we're going to find if we go over to the right side here, oh, that's what I was originally going for, was that agility boost. Yeah, we got to get that. There's more agility boosts that have been unlocked, but they're kind of blocked off there, so we would have to go through some of the claw path to get to them. which is kind of unfortunate because we're not using claws with Rab. But yeah, now we have even more stuff that we need to get. And I'm like, oh, why can't I get the? Oh, yeah, I have to get this this first. So this magical mending and this agility boost is going to take up all of our stuff, but we need the agility boost, especially for Rab. And I can give him another pep up chance plus 5%. Well, if I cared that much about the pep up state. I mean, granted, it will be useful. I'm sure it will be, but I want to get all these other passive boosts first, and I want to get this. That's going to be like my next main target, I think. Yeah, because it's going to be so long before we could even think about getting those agility boosts. One other thing I'm going to do. I'm not going to do it here or now. I've actually recorded, quite a hunk of gameplay, about like 7 to 10 parts or so, because I was going for one specific goal, and it took me a while to get there. And I'm not going to spoil too much from that, but at some point I am going to concede and get the plus 3% for Jace's sword critical hits. It costs 16 skill points. But it is something that we're going to want. We're going to want that increased critical hit percentage, especially against bosses. And we've been critical hitting a lot against bosses lately, and we want to keep that trend going. Let's re-equip Rab with all the stuff that he had before. And I can give him the agility sandals. Fix his agility even more. So that is cool. And didn't I have... I had that, the shield bearer card on him. I was wondering if there's something that would be different or better. That one could boost his agility even more, but I don't think we need that. Warlock increases chances of critical spells, which isn't bad, but you guys know me in percentage. I'm not going to value... I would value like a bigger boost to raw stats over like percentage chance of a couple lucky things like critical hits happening. But yeah, I don't know when we're going to get Jace's Luminary Tree back, and he is building up quite a bundle of skill points. Yeah, there's Shield Bearer, which gives quite a nice boost to defense. Oh, the Sorcerer's Ring. Yeah, that's what we go with. It does boost defense a few points, but it also gives him some MP after battle. In fact, I believe he'll be recovering 7 MP now after battle, each battle. So that's pretty nice. Alright, so let's zoom. The issue with all this gameplay is I don't remember what we're actually doing next. Actually, I know what we were going to do next. What we're still doing in this video, which is why we're going to be going a bit over. Krillin, High Llama Krillin, kind of mentioned that he had some sort of training exercise for us that we could do. And this guy has a quest for us, side quest. Here we get Mystic. We'll take this. I can barely even like read this text as it's playing in my editor here. Oh, we have to use a certain pep-up ability to do this. So I'm not going to prioritize trying to do this, because I don't even know if this Mystic Bow thing is going to be even worth it to get. But we need to kill a Boreal Serpent with the Blaze of Glory. I think Blaze of Glory requires... and don't quote me on this, but I want to say Jace and Hendrik both being pepped up. I mean, it's certainly doable, but it's not something that I'm going to just, you know, go out and do right now. Although there will be a side quest coming up that does require pep-up power that we are going to do, mainly because we just kind of stumble upon having all the characters pepped up, and then we run to the place where it is. And the prize is really, really good. Really, really super good. If you're familiar with this game, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't, well, you're just going to have to stay tuned for a few parts. Now, for the rest of this video, what we're going to do is we're going to try this field trial thing. I'm like, yeah, we got a few minutes, but we're probably going to go over doing this. So, there's the first trial, the second trial, the third trial. They require, you know, different numbers of participants. You get different items based on how many turns it takes you to win. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, what do I want to do here? How do I want to set this up? You can't have the same character in more than one battle. This is kind of an interesting thing. But yeah, here I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I want to put Jason Rapp together because they just got this new Peppa power. And it gives you kind of a vague hint as to what you'll be battling as well. Now, what I dislike about this, a deadly dragon, is these enemies are kind of like supercharged on their stats. See, this is a green dragon, I'm like, we can take down a green dragon. No, we can't. Although I love this, this is classic. This is the Dragon Quest III battle theme, like random battle theme. It's a remix of it, but that's what it is, and I appreciate those throwbacks. I don't appreciate what this green dragon's doing to me. You can see we got him in we got his health down. We're like just barely short. Hey, we're not gonna beat him on this go. And I'm like, can I use an item to... We only have mid-heal, so that's not going to be a productive exchange, so I got to go for the kill, and that doesn't work out. Fortunately, it's just a training battle, but my opinion on this area, it reminds me a lot of the Monster Arena from Final Fantasy X, which the Monster Arena from Final Fantasy X was like 95% of the post-game content of Final Fantasy X, where you just fight monsters with super high stats in that, and you try to beat them. And it requires a ton of grinding before you can even start to challenge the, first of the super monsters. And I wasn't a fan of that, because there was, like, nothing else going on. What I like in post-game content, I don't know if I've mentioned this before in this playthrough, but I mentioned it in Final Fantasy XII. I like, okay, we finish the main story, you go back into the game, a new dungeon or whatever unlocks, and you're able to go into the dungeon and compete against the monsters, right after, beating the final boss of the game. And so you're like ready for the post-game content right away. Post-game content I dislike is, okay, here's a couple super bosses that you have to grind to level 99 to even stand a chance against if you want to beat them. And my response to that is no, I don't care to spend all that time doing that just to fight a couple bosses. I want to explore new things. I want to fight new enemies and new bosses that I'm capable of fighting just going into the post-game. A good example of a post-game dungeon, I would say, is Final Fantasy IV. Not the DS version, because that took out the whole post-game dungeon, in favor of a couple post-game super bosses that you can't even fight without, playing through the entire main story again, at least two times. And if you want to stand a chance, you gotta go through the game a third time. It's that dumb. instead of, you know, having more dungeons. We are actually going to beat this guy here. Our defense is returned to normal, but our HP is so low, it doesn't matter. And so this kind of feels a lot the same way, especially with the rewards. You just gotta get so strong that you can blow through these guys. I was hoping for maybe a critical hit there, because I wasn't sure if I would need it. But yeah, there's different prizes based on how quickly you can kill all of the enemies. And again, these four, they don't look like they're going to be that intimidating. Okay, use the cob off, so... But you can see they're going to be, like, super high on their stats. So what I should be doing is using our new techniques. I think of that after a turn or two. Where is... Oh, we'll get there. So yeah, I want post-game content that I can feasibly jump into right after beating the final boss. And have it be like give me something new to explore, maybe give me some super weapons, you know, give me some fun. In Final Fantasy IV, the Game Boy Advance, it was the Game Boy Advance version that introduced the Lunar Ruins. And that was something that you could pretty much jump into right after beating the final boss. There were some aspects that took some leveling up, but you would level up fairly quickly in that dungeon as well with the new enemies. And so I felt the balance was pretty good there. And, you know, it was... that's the type of post-game content I look for. Or... I shouldn't say all of the post-game content from Final Fantasy XII, but some of it we were able to jump into. There were some new regions to explore that we could do so, like, right after beating the main game. And that was the post-game content that I liked. I didn't like the super bosses like Yasmat and that. Yeah, see, there's our Quadra Slash. Just drive a giant light sword down on top of everyone. And Spirit Bomb. We're just gonna keep going with these rather than trying to heal because, again, I'm trying to go for some time. But I'm also thinking that the next shot might kill him. But these guys have way too much HP and stats. And so it's coming off as the Final Fantasy X arena battles that I don't really care for. The slime lived. How did the slime live? Yeah, we'll go with another Spirit Bomb, and this will finish it off. So we'll get the victory. Maybe I'll come back here when I've leveled up some more. Maybe more towards the end of their quest, and I'll see about doing these some more and see what we can acquire. Staff of Divine Wrath. I wouldn't mind getting that. I wouldn't mind a lot of this stuff, to be honest, but, yeah. So I know we're a little bit over time, but we talked a little bit about post-game content. So yeah, if post-game of this game is kind of like that, we'll do some of it. We'll check it out. We'll see what we got. I heard there is post-game content, so... but that is all for me for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, they won't let us do the second trial yet.